Children who was shot and killed inside a Delaware Metro PCS store. Police say tonight they need the public's help to find the suspect in that surveillance video. Good evening, I'm Joe Holden. Family members tell CBS 3 28-year-old Leslie Basilio was the manager at that Metro PCS store in Newcastle County. She was working by herself when she was killed. She now leaves behind a 12-year-old daughter and 6-year-old son. Alicia Roberts is live with reaction from the victim's family and the latest now in the search for that gunman. Alicia.
Joe, behind me, the memorial continues to grow outside the Metro PCS where the store manager and mother of two worked. She was known for her kindness, and those that knew her hope that justice will be served as police find her killer.
She was known for her kindness, not for jokes, not for making people laugh, not for ragging on people, playing the dozens all day long, but for her kindness. She
was known for her kindness, and those that knew her hope that justice will be served as police find her killer.
I can't explain the feeling I had at that moment. It was just like somebody grabbed my heart.
One day after a gunman shot and killed a Metro PCS store manager and mother of two young children, the family of Leslie Lizette Basilio gathered to remember a woman loved by so many.
This is a ceremony we do for her soul, so God can guide her through to heaven.
Leslie's cousin talked to her around 5 p.m. Saturday, less than 30 minutes before police say this man attempted to rob the store.
I was on the phone with her, inviting her over to come to my daughter's birthday party.
A neighbor who's watched out for Basilio over the years.
I know she's there by herself on Saturdays late.
A neighbor who's watched out for her over the years, because he knows she's over there at the store late by herself. And if this old man end up dead in the streets, you're going to know who did that too, especially in Philly. I'm tired of this narrative in America that everybody's just bad and trying to harm black people's whole existence is to try to harm black people. Black bodies and everything is against black people, and people are innately just thinking about black people and how to harm them all day. That's starting to get real annoying. I don't see this in real life. I don't see it at all. I don't see any remnant of it at all. Well, you don't live in the deep south. You can't speak for everybody. I don't see it. No one's telling me about it. They're just telling me about systems and institutions and all this crap. Most of the people you encounter in life in an interpersonal, I'm not talking about you get to know them. I'm not talking about you screwing them or something like this or you're in a relationship with them. But people you just meet in passing, the Uber driver, your barber, the lady at the fast food window, the person you walk past in aisle in Target. People are generally nice. The only people really complaining about other people in this country are black people and white liberals on behalf of black people.
A neighbor who's watched out for Basilio over the years.
I know she's there by herself on Saturdays late.
Saw the suspect drive off in her 2008 Cadillac Escalade. He said the store's been robbed 3 times before, so he walked over to make sure his friend was okay.
I looked over and the cash drawer was open, so this is not good.
The store's been robbed 3 times already. And she's been there all 3 times previously when it was robbed. She's also brave, along with kind, brave. I worked at 7-Eleven, 1999 in Richmond, Virginia, on Broad Street. There's a bunch of them on Broad Street because it's a big street, but I want to say, don't give me the line, but I can't remember all the side streets, but Broad Street, up there near the Fan. The guy came in and robbed me while I was doing the cash register. In 7-Eleven, you only keep, was it $34 in the cash register? If you have more than $34 in your cash register, the manager will write you up. Everything time you get a big bill, you put it in a little tube and you drop it in the safe. So he got like $20 or something like that. And, you know, police came, asked me to look through a lineup, all this stuff and yada, 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 but like whatever. I was still on some like little fake street stuff type then. So I wasn't gonna snitch and all this bullshit. But after that, I was like, man, I need to find me a new job. I didn't get robbed again. I worked there for a little bit while longer, but I couldn't imagine being robbed 3 times and still working at the place. But it's terrifying being robbed because guys got a gun pointed at you, and you know that if you don't give him the stuff, he's gonna kill you. So, or he's gonna shoot you. That's the deal. That's kind of like the deal with the robbery. That's why he has the gun. But this woman was brave, man. Very brave woman. And salute to this white man, for looking out for her all throughout those years, man.
I looked over and the cash drawer was open. So this is not good.
He called police from the store. When they arrived, medics tried to revive Bastilio, but it was too late. Outside, family, friends, and customers decorated the storefront with flowers and balloons for the woman whose kindness was felt by all who knew her.
Always help with any problem that I had with my Metro phone.
She was a kind soul. You would ask her for any favor, and she would not hesitate to reply yes.
The world lost a good person and a good mom.
Hopeful now to bring her and her family justice.
I just hope and pray that they find the person that have done this, because it's senseless.
Nothing can bring her back, but I just hope she's in heaven.
And we want you to take a look at your TV again. Police are hoping you might recognize this person they believe.
One thing that the pandemic has done is that it's changed our perception of looking at people's faces. Before the pandemic, you needed to see somebody's whole face. But once people started wearing masks, mentally we all adjusted subconsciously, and our brains are so intelligent, and so they've gotten us through millions and millions of years on this planet that our brains quickly made the adjustment. And you could just tell. I tell you, one time in the whole last year of wearing masks did I say what's up to a person that like, what's up, man? Oh, my bad. That ain't you. Sorry. That I didn't know. One time. And I've been grocery, been all over. DC, we didn't do all that. DC, niggas was having Easter egg hunts last year. In every neighborhood. Like, nobody, all the pandemic, only certain neighborhoods where you had, like, white, mostly white neighborhoods, but the black neighborhoods, niggas was just out wearing masks, I guess, when you go into a store because you had to, but niggas never, like, did all the social distance and the quarantine stuff. They did, like, little stuff, like I said, wearing masks. Some people wear gloves. People, some people that elderly, or people with like compromised immune systems was doing that stuff. But just regular people like 0 to 40 were just out and about like it was no pandemic. But a lot of people were wearing masks when they went in places. And I tell you, I only did it once where I mistaken identity somebody. And what that tells me is that whoever knows this guy, the people who know this guy, They know that's him. They don't need to see his whole face. They know that my eyes. They know just that portion of his face, his build. People that know him know that's him. I guarantee you, it's a bunch of people in Philly like, oh shit, that's so-and-so. Now the question is they going to cooperate or not or whatever, but trust me, people know who that is, even though he has that mask on.
And we want you to take a look at your TV again. Police are hoping you might recognize this person they believe is armed and dangerous. He is a suspect in her murder. He was last seen driving off in the victim's car, a black 2008 Cadillac Escalade with the license plate PC 194769. And we should mention that this woman was so loved by the community. Again, over and over, even within the last few minutes here late tonight on a Sunday night, friends came out to pay her final respects here. They are hoping that anyone with information will give police a call. Reporting live in Newcastle County, Alicia Roberts, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Alicia, thank you for that.
Tonight in Newark, Delaware, family and friends held a vigil for a murdered Metro PCS store manager. An apparent robber shot and killed Leslie Lizette Basilio at the Ellesmere store on Saturday. A manhunt continues for the suspect. Those who knew Basilio say she was a hardworking and caring mother.
I know for her funeral, a lot more will show up. And those who knew her or got to ever meet her, I know she left a good impression on everyone.
Detectives tonight released 2 more photos of the man they believe is the murderer. One shows a clearer image of his face and the fanny pack he was wearing. Police say he also...
Who thinks he's going to have that fanny pack on when they arrest him? And what if you think you had that fanny pack on? They arrest him.
Last few hours, we've learned this is not the teen's first run-in with law enforcement. News 6's Mark Lehman has more on the serious charges.
Today, we've been learning a lot of new details about that suspect taken into custody last night. The teen is someone who was already facing very serious charges in another case and was just released from jail in the last 2 months.
How many of y'all tired of this shit? You inundated all day, every day with critical race theory, racism, black people are, the criminal justice system needs reform solely because of the way it treats black people. Prison is overrun with black people because of racism and black people. Police only target black people. Black people, black people, black people, black people, victims of all this shit. And every time I do a story on one of these guys, one of these black guys that does a crime, he got a rap sheet longer than the CVS receipt. He done just got out on bond for another violent crime. He got a long history of violent crime. He got a trial coming up next week for a violent crime while he on the streets doing another violent crime. It's the 2 things that's annoying. I could deal with one. I could deal with the crime by itself without the false narrative. I could deal with the false narrative without the crime. I would love to have the false narrative without the crime. But it's both. That's just so annoying, man. Jesus.
Today, we've been learning a lot of new details about that suspect taken into custody last night. The teen is someone who was already facing very serious charges in another case and was just released from jail in the last 2 months. After releasing this video on Monday, the Orange County Sheriff's Office says 17-year-old Jaquarius McRae is facing first-degree murder charges in the killing of Roxana Sanchez. The teen's arrest coming less than a week after her family's plea for answers.
We just want to know why. Why you had to do that to her.
The 36-year-old mom was fatally shot the day before Mother's Day. According to detectives, 2 suspects were in this car, followed Sanchez into her subdivision, and approached the vehicle.
I'm telling you about these. I did a video last week on that. They're following you now. This is some new. This wasn't. I'm telling you, I did 1,000. I've done probably 4,000 videos on. Actually, I've done about 4,000 videos. Because I've had so many channels over the years. At least 4,000 videos. I think I got 2,000 on this channel. But I digress. ...2019, the first half of 2020, I was not seeing this. I didn't see these stories of people being followed from the jewelry store, from high-end shopping, people getting followed home. This is some new stuff, man. Maybe it happened here and there, I missed it. But now, every day, I'm seeing stories, people being followed. These young brothers, and look, every story I've done recently have been a brother. I'm following people home, following them around the city as they shop, and then putting devices under their cars. It's crazy out here, man. It is crazy. Brothers is on some other stuff.
According to detectives, 2 suspects were in this car, followed Sanchez into her subdivision, and approached the vehicle. That's when deputies say McCrae opened fire.
This is a tragedy that did not need to happen. Should not have happened.
According to court records, McCrae was arrested last year for an armed robbery where deputies say he also fired shots. The trial is still pending. However, in March, McCrae was released from jail after a psychological exam determined he was incompetent to proceed.
Did you hear that? He robbed somebody, fired shots during the robbery, but was released from prison after a psychological evaluation determined that he was unfit to stand trial. Watch now. In the future, brothers going, oh, that's a loophole. Oh, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Brothers just gonna be out there. I can't stand trial. Let me free. Because just think about that. In this country that's racist to the core. Everything's about racism. They're teaching first graders that everything is about racism. It all boils down to racism. This black man committed an armed robbery where he fired the weapon. He played crazy and they let him go. That's scary, man. That's terrifying, Jack. As a law-abiding citizen, as a thug, as a hoodlum, if I was a hoodlum or thug, I'm like, that's interesting. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I'm excited about the prospects of that. But as a law-abiding citizen, that's terrifying, man.
According to court records, McCrae was arrested last year for an armed robbery where deputies say he also fired shots. The trial is still pending. However, in March, McCrae was released from jail after a psychological exam determined he was incompetent to proceed. As for this latest case, McCrae is now awaiting an appearance before a judge, something coming as the search continues for the second suspect. Now, when it comes to McCrae, so far deputies haven't said anything about a motive or how they were able to track him down. We are working to learn more from detectives. Meanwhile, anyone with information about that second suspect is urged to call Crime Line at 800-423-TIPS. In Orange County, Mark Lehman, Getting Results, News 6.
So here it says, Jacorius McCrae and an unidentified accomplice are said to have followed Sanchez and a friend as they drove home in a BMW from a night out and allegedly boxed him into Sanchez's driveway in Orlando. Sanchez was shot dead after her friend tried to escape by reversing and crashing into the carjacker's car. So her kids and her husband were inside sleeping, and they were awakened by the gunfire. This is the crash and the gunfire. And come out and see that the wife and the mother dead. The two men approached the car occupied by Sanchez and her friend, banging on the windows and ordering the two women to get out. We need another crime bill, man. I hate to say it, man. Actually, no, I don't hate this. Let me stop saying that. That's nigga babble. Because you always got to be on halfway on the side of the criminals when you black. When you black, you can't never make a definitive statement in favor of law and order or right. You always got to be like, you never know, or not everybody. And you got to say some stupid shit when you're a nigga. That's just being, that's not like your black brain. It's not because you're stupid. It's just the peer pressure of the community. Let me not say, I hate to say it. I encourage another crime bill so that good people stop getting killed. This whole narrative that it's just thugs out there killing each other is bullshit. It's good people. It's people like this woman. And the other woman working at the PCS Mobile. Good people are being killed. It's not just thugs and criminals. That's why anybody who has a problem with this channel or talk slick about this channel, we gotta block them, moderators, because just shoot them dead. Do them like the brothers do them. Mod, you got my... Because listen, if you got a problem with bringing awareness to good people dying in the streets like dogs, man, you need to go enjoy one of the other 8 million YouTube channels.
Demarion Johnson had just graduated from 8th grade when his life changed forever. His family was out getting pizza when the then 13-year-old boy was shot in the head at a Detroit gas station. Well, today the man who shot him was sentenced to 18 to 30 years behind bars. Priya man
out with his family to get pizza. Shot in the head. 18 to 30 years. Which means he'll do what? 85% of that low number? 15? Be home in 15. And anybody who from the streets or been in the system know what I'm saying. They know he'll be home in 15 years.
His family was out getting pizza when the then 13-year-old boy was shot in the head at a Detroit gas station. Well, today the man who shot him was sentenced to 18 to 30 years behind bars. Priya man is following an emotional charged day in court.
That day was the worst day of my life.
He has caused a great deal of pain to me and my family.
Demarion Johnson was just 13 years old when he was shot in the head at a gas station on Detroit's west side.
He was promised to so much. He was a good kid. He was an outstanding kid.
The day that you shot him, he was learning how to drive earlier that day. Now he back an infant again.
Now nearly 16, the shooting left Demarion with severe brain damage.
He can't walk. He can't talk. He can't laugh. He can't smile. The only way he expresses himself is through crying. It's through pain. That's the only emotion I've seen on my son since this happened.
Wow. The pain that black men are pouring, it's like we're taking a bottle of hot sauce and just hot pain sauce and just pouring it all over the country. Meanwhile, whining, we pouring pain sauce all over everywhere. You know how like hot sauce is doesn't come out, it's not a precise thing. It's just random. Like when you pour hot sauce on something, it just go where it go. We just out here pouring pain sauce over the entire country. And meanwhile, it's sisters out there whining, talking about the criminal justice system, and white liberals out there using us to get Trump out of office and using us for their political agendas and playing us for putting us out there as victims. Like we victims. It's like the Twilight Zone, man.
Now he back an infant again.
Now nearly 16, the shooting left Damarian with severe brain damage.
He can't walk. He can't talk. He can't laugh. He can't smile. The only way he expresses himself is through crying. It's through pain. That's the only emotion I've seen on my son since this happened.
Charles Phillips says he didn't intend to shoot the young teen boy.
I'm lost for words myself, man. I'm just sorry.
You is. You a sorry piece of...
Well, sir, Mr. Bell, I'm sorry, sir.
I'm glad the dad said that. I wish LeBron James or these basketball players, these football players would back him up on that. They're always jumping in the middle of some goddamn case. Why? We need a basketball player to say, yeah, man, that dude's a sorry piece of shit. I agree. Hashtag sorry piece of shit. Why don't everybody in the NBA put sorry piece of shit on the back of their jerseys? I know this man want to kill that dude, man. I know he want to fillet him. I know he want to rip his fingernails off and dip them in lemon juice and then roll them in cayenne pepper. And that just be the start. That be the... Now we getting started. You in for a long day, buddy. But nobody feels sorry for this brother. They feel sorry for George Floyd, shit, fucking Rayshard Brooks and Jacob Blake. Nobody feels sorry for this brother.
Charles Phillips says he didn't intend to shoot the young teen boy.
I'm lost for words myself, man. I'm just sorry.
You is. You a sorry piece of...
Well, sir, Mr. Bell, I'm sorry, sir.
Damarian's family and the judge didn't buy Phillips' apology.
I mean, there really is no excuse. I don't really appreciate, quite frankly, what Mr. Phillips has indicated.
Damarian's mom is a nurse and says she can't go back to helping patients when her son needs her around the clock.
It never in my life crossed my mind that it would be my child laying in the bed helpless. As I continue to pray for my son, I'm forced to pray for you too. I don't like it, but I'm forced to.
She says she gonna pray for him too. These are good people. So, all these good people, every day, I only do a couple of stories because I'm only one man. If I had a team of like 10 journalists to all do the same amount of stories as I do every day, we could cover a lot more of this stuff. We still wouldn't cover it all. But that's how much is going on of this stuff, these stories, every day. Okay? Every day. Because you have to think, there's 17,985 police departments in this country working 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. So let's just say that there's one of these stories in every department every day. Just one. Brothers just ruining people's lives. Happens every day, all day. But what do we get inundated with in the media? The once in a blue moon. Of those 17,985 police departments, if one of them, one officer on one of them makes a mistake, that's the news cycle for 2 weeks. That one officer in that one of 17,985 police departments mistake is 2 weeks worth of news. That's if we lucky. Maybe months of news off of that one mistake that one officer made. Meanwhile, niggas, we get to slide. We get to skate. Nobody get to talk about what we doing. And then if somebody talk about what he's doing, people try to bully you. You a coon. You hate yourself. You talk about... Get in the comment section, man. Like, subscribe, donate. Peace. I'm out.
Your heart certainly breaks for this family. That night, a 23-year-old man was also shot at the gas station and, like Demarion, suffered permanent injuries. The judge sentenced Phillips to a minimum of 20 years in prison. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.